And we're live. Okay. Well, folks, welcome back to the Wildlands campaign. Let's get right into it. Take a second. Take a deep breath. Let the real world fall away. And come back to the world of the Wildlands campaign, where last time you guys wrapped up a tremendous battle with some terrifying foes who were trying to infect the world of dream, the plane of dreams. And you managed to shut them down just as they were beginning to succeed. So some of that corruption may have gotten through. But for the most part, you were successful in defending things. You received these rune keys during that battle, and these allowed you to... Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
It's telling me that the stream is unstable, so sometimes that means I've dropped everything. Hey, Taladar. Yes, it did. It was a lot of fun. Those of you who watch this later, come join us on the Super Commoner Discord to know what he's talking about. So, you guys, with these rune keys, were able to follow into Bella's dream, as she had one of these visionary dreams that night after the battle with the horrible illithid-like creatures. And as we closed the session, a presence was felt as you guys found yourselves on this strange platform in a vast field of stars, surrounded by strange floating objects, snake tails and butterfly wings and angel's breath and giant coins and snails, and this presence was out there but closer than Bella had ever felt it before. And the face of a goddess, still partially obscured, as you can see from the depiction on the screen. The face of the goddess came before you, and she seems to occupy both three-dimensional and two-dimensional space. And you feel that you can see her face even though it is obscured in this strange kind of cubist feel. And she welcomed you. She spoke of Bella becoming a great bard, and she addressed you all by name. Jeremy, she says. M. Danielle. Kirsten and Corey. Welcome to this realm of dreams. I'm glad you have made it this far. There's a little ways yet to go. And you're going to have to release your friend from his prison. And you're going to have to unlock Kirsten's character's ability, she says, to become a great bard. If you are going to save this land that you all love. She says,
I think we have a problem with the stream, y'all. It sounds like they're talking to us instead of the characters. Sorry, we should probably take this off stream. Is Max doing all right?
the goddess breaks all borders. The muse shatters the fourth wall and says to you, guys, you will need all your creativity and all of your skill. I have two aspects other than this one. As my art can take on the form of a healer or a warrior. I can take on my healing aspect to protect your characters, or I can take on my war aspect to smite your foes. You feel that she's indicating the north of this area. She says, the next time that the Dark Six open their defenses and you are able to dream of me, make sure that you get to the dream snake and break your friend out of his curse. The snake will eat the curse if you offer up the dream frog. Now, do you have any questions? I should say, you have time before the dungeon master says that you wake up to ask one question. What would you like it to be? Use it well. Such things are limited.
Well, I have a lot of questions.
So do
But I
but I think I'll give you priority here.
I guess if I can only ask one, I should probably ask, which direction is the dream snake in?
The north of this realm. You will have to follow the path that you have been uncovering. Such are the rules of the realm of dream.
All right.
You have time for one more question. As she starts to drift away, and you feel the tether to the material plane of existence pulling you back. One more question?
Does anybody have anything pressing that they want to ask? Other than what the fuck?
That's kind
Yeah.
of my big one.
How do we free the great bards? All of them.
One of the 3 battlefields in the final confrontation will have them. And then you wake up. We might break the stream here. Everything healthy? It's loading.
Still got you.
Are we alive? Yep.
I think so.
I think so.
It is just past dawn on the mountain of eternal sun. Sometimes, when you wake up from a dream, you feel as though you've really lived an entire other life. And that's the sense that you have waking up here in your hammocks that the monks of the tree set up for you to sleep in the tree of eternal moonlight on the mountain of eternal sun.
So, question for you, Max, not the muse. What does Vapos remember of that dream?
Anything? Oh no, did we lose him?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Vapos remembers everything. Your characters remember everything that happened. However, that doesn't mean they understand everything that happened. But one thing that would stand out is the frightening sense of revelation of some truth too large to bear in everyday thought. I'm sure you can figure out what I mean
Yeah.
by that. All right.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, I understand the confusion you've had exploring this land of dreams, the things that great being shared with us. Hurts my head just thinking about it.
Yes, I have to say that I don't think you're alone in that one, Bref. I think I'm going to need to meditate on this for quite some time.
Yeah, if it wasn't for her specifically mentioning my friend, I would have thought she was a little confused. But I guess that's just dreams. They're weird.
Yes, perhaps that's all that it is. But even if there was something more to it than that, then I suppose it could be comforting to think that we have some other allies that are working with us, I suppose.
Yes.
Akiri,
Yes.
you have now seen the face of a goddess who is not your patron deity, and whom you have learned has been shut out in some way by the cycle gods, of which one of which grants you your power. You have furthermore learned that this deity's power to send dreams is being blocked at times by the power of the Dark Six. And you realize, like an uncomfortable tickle of a burr in your feathers that was so subtle you didn't notice it until it was pointed out. You notice, with your cleric's sense of the supernatural and the spiritual, that there is this taint of corruption, a whiff of it, that still lingers and hovers around the group. Did that make sense?
Mm. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of definitely the whole thing is, well, what's it used is very confusing to her. However, um, at this point, she's willing to take whatever help she can get because I think we desperately need it.
All right.
So she isn't super concerned, but at the same time, that little bit of corruption is, she's giving it squinty eyes.
Okay. I like that. She's giving it squinty eyes. Okay, guys. Well, the monks, who are very thankful for you driving off the attackers on the tree, they're going to share a breakfast with you and come to collect the hammocks. And one of them will inquire where you are headed next.
We're going to the big Sword of Wings conference that's going up in a bit. So I think we're headed to the tower.
Ah. A nodding glance to the north. And as the mountains continue toward the north, you can see one mountain that stands taller than the rest. White stone and sprinkling of snow, giving this knife-like ridge its name. About a day's travel to the north. Adding to your sense of imminent danger, a very strange cloud pattern looms over the mountains. Kind of like concentric rings of cloud. Dark, heavy with rain that fill the sky to the north. All right, what'd you guys like to do?
Let me pull up my calendar real quick.
Oh yes, I should update the calendar, as you have slept another night. After the battle, you did sleep in the tree. You would heal up and regain your spells. And regain 2 hit dice.
Nice.
Okay. It is the 16th of Zhuerk.
Yeah, let's just go. Then yeah, let's head straight to the tower then. 'Cause we only have a couple of days.
Sounds like a great plan.
Alrighty, let's go.
All right. You guys pack up your stuff, and with a sense of wonder, this Wonder Day, which is our equivalent of Wednesday, you climb back down the tree. You take your leave of the various pilgrims. You hike over the stones and amongst the bushes, down the mountain of eternal sun, lit up as it is by the glowing tree. And you head through the Cloud Summit peaks. The mountainous wind blowing past. This is kind of a dangerous area. There are many travelers, but there are also many dangers. You do notice that areas which would be exposed to the air, areas which would be actually only those of you, actually probably Akiri would notice this. Only Akiri would really notice this. Or if anyone has a plus 10 to survival, you would also notice this. Akiri, you're going to notice as you fly along that areas which would be exposed to attack from the air tend to be clear of animal burrows or any evidence of monster layers. Where there are creatures, they tend to be underneath an overhang or a rock or burrowed under the ground. And I've mentioned that there are pilgrims on the road, so every now and then you're going to hear this jangling of other folk with pots and pans attached to their pack, the stomp of other folks' horses, or the lowing of oxen as they trudge up and down the mountain paths. You're also going to find here and there graves of those who fell prey to attack, and several battle sites. And the evidence of battle sites is going to increase as you get closer to White Ridge. Any questions about any of that?
Nope.
All right. Then let's get into it, folks. One other thing. You are going to notice Aarakocra flying through the skyways amongst the clouds. Mostly heading toward White Ridge. Some heading away. So there's traffic in the air as well as on the ground. All sorts of folk. How are you guys going to travel safely through this region? What are you going to do to help the group?
I think Vapos is going to focus a little bit on the horses, making sure that we're taking good paths for them at this point, just because, we've been traveling through mountainous terrain for a good ways now, and so wanting to just make sure that they're not getting too exhausted from the way that we're having to travel, making sure that there's not any small stones that are getting stuck in their hooves or anything like that.
What kind of skill are you angling for?
I'm kind of thinking animal handling.
Yeah, that's totally legit. And they can carry your stuff.
All right, that's an 18.
Nice. That will be successful. And the horses are going to be a great help as you guys carry your equipment and your gear. So you're all going to be able to take a bit of a load off your packs, which is probably very welcome. Very welcome, as the wanderers have been wandering the wilderness for quite some time now, without much of a break. So yes, that is a success. Go ahead and take your 3 temp HP.
Awesome.
I'd like to use you mentioning that we're noticing all of these kind of artifacts of the pilgrimage along the road. And I would like to keep everybody motivated and entertained by using a knowledge history check to tell stories about the pilgrimage that I've picked up over the years.
There will be a number of little shrines and various kinds of markers with carvings on them. Often a list of names of pilgrims who came by this path from the northern most parts of the Wildlands. Yeah, go ahead and make a knowledge history check to kind of offer facts about the region and the people who passed by. A 23 is a resounding success. You guys are feeling light on your feet as you get to the bottom of one of the Cloud Summit peaks, and then you start climbing up the higher ones. You are discovering, as the strong wind howls through or whips through the valleys and past the trees and rocks, White Ridge is a tall mountain amongst tall mountains, and you have a lot of climbing to do in the afternoon of this Wonder Day, the 16th of Zhuwerk. And you will pass occasional folk, sometimes near the camped near the shrines, where Bella will pause and offer a little story like, oh, this says that a party of 12 passed through here, 2 family groups who were friends on their way to the Mountain of Eternal Sun to pray under the tree. And these other travelers will greet you and smile and exchange a few pleasantries. But many of them are resting their legs as the pathways here are steep and the mountains are tall, and you have to go back and forth on these long switchbacks up the slopes, higher and higher, and every peak you climb, you realize as you pass through another strata of cloud that there are even higher peaks stretching way up into the sky. And at this point in your journey, you're going to be in view of White Ridge Tower, which looks to be these several 100-foot tall statues facing each other, stone wings spread on top of the mountainous ridge that gives the tower its name. And way up there, you can see many creatures flying around, going about their business. And the sunlight, as it peeks through the strange cloud patterns, occasionally glinting off metal bits on their wings. Okay, oh, Bella, don't forget to get your 3 temp HP there. Who else wants to help? Can you...
Akiri will.
All right. What's she gonna do?
I think what Akiri would like to do is, if we come across any Aarakocra, on the road or anything like that. She'd like to act as a little bit of a mitigation between them, because she's also bird, and they are also bird. So let's be bird friends. So just like if there's anyone like asking about like what they're doing here or whatever, she can be like, "Oh yeah, we're friends of the Sword Rings. We're gonna get to the thingy. Don't mind us." Kind of thing. I have no idea what kind of a role it is. It's probably not gonna be great, but she'd like to at least. It's what she would do anyways.
Okay. What kind of role were you thinking again?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
Probably just whatever. Probably just whatever would fit. There we go.
Well, I guess that's a charisma-based role.
Probably for better or worse.
I'm not sure. So the way that this works is you pick a skill, and then say, all right, I want to use this skill, and here's my explanation for it. I feel like this is something that you're doing regardless of trying to help the party travel more safely or faster. You get what I'm saying? I think this is something that you are saying, my character is doing this, and it really doesn't have anything to do with trying to help you guys travel without being accosted. In fact, it may have the opposite effect. So go ahead and make a charisma roll for this thing that you are doing while you guys are traveling.
And if not, we can just go back to. And if it, like this doesn't work, Max, I'm totally fine with going back to the age-old Akiri steps ahead.
Well, you can do that too. You don't have to go back to it. You can do both.
Okay. Is it just a straight charisma roll?
Unless you tell me what skill you are using. It sounds to me like you are just trying to charm, trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
With and kind of say that you're going to the secret Sword Wings meeting to everyone that you meet. So, or every Aarakocra that you meet. So.
Why does that sound like something Akiri would absolutely do, though?
I mean, it does sound like that. I think it's in
Alright.
character. Refresh your, regardless, you should refresh your inspiration.
Then yeah, we're just gonna do charisma. This will be funny.
Oh man.
Fuck!
If only you had the reward of your quest already so that you had advantage.
Right.
Okay. Now also make your scouting roll. This is gonna be
Alright.
interesting.
We're gonna do perception. That's a 22.
Well, you are at one point going to spot a group of Aarakocra flying about who are clearly armed. They are carrying crossbows and look to be a little pissed off looking and on patrol. You decide to avoid them. However, I am going to ask you to... who was the first one to jump in? Vapos?
Yep.
Vapos, roll a d57 for me.
Okay. That's a 2.
Oh, I don't think anyone's rolled a 2 yet. Just have to get to the right table here. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no one's rolled a 2, I'm pretty sure.
Well, at least it's not a 1.
Don't make assumptions. Okay. Okay. So, you guys are going to find a shrine. And Bella, it's going to be a very interesting shrine, kind of an old ruined one, near the base of the White Ridge Tower, formed of these gigantic Aarakocra statues. And
Right.
there's some very interesting history there, Bella. As you were going around and reading it, you are going to start realizing that there are some clues hidden in the messages on the standing stones of this shrine. But we'll get to that. Meanwhile, Akiri, you are going to approach a group of Aarakocra flying around, turning somersaults and loop-de-loops in the sky, and playing with wisps of cloud. There is a couple of different ages here, but they mostly seem to be in their 20s and 30s, and they look like they're letting off some steam. A couple of them are wearing flying armor, designed for Aarakocras to be very lightweight. And they are going to look at you in surprise as you approach. And you are doing your thing. You say exactly what you said a moment ago. Hello, we're on our way to the thing and the tower. And one of the slightly older ones introduces herself as Hellion the Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And
Curious
she-
going. Oh, sorry, continue.
Were you going to say something?
I was gonna say, but Curious would introduce herself as well.
Mm-hmm. She says, you guys are flying around as she speaks, and she's going to say, you and the groundwalkers are on your way to a meeting of the Swordwings?
Yeah, I think it's in a couple days. But we got here a little bit early. And we're just making our way that way.
I see. You and your companions look to be fairly heavily armed. What brings you to the meeting?
Traveling. She has enough wherewithal to not say that much.
Traveling brings you to the meeting. Who invited you? A couple of the others are going to gather round. Clark, Sook, and Crual. She says, I am Sir Serhelion the Paladin. This is Sir Crual the Bold, Sir Sook the Wild, and Clark is a neophyte. Who invited you?
Akiri's gonna look a little bashful at that and go, I kind of overheard it at one point, and, well, we kind of have information that we think they need to know, so here we are.
You seek information.
No, we wish to give information.
Well, you may give it to me if you wish.
I'd prefer to do this to the rest of everyone. Sorry, it's just we've come a really long way, and she's very obviously very nervous.
Yeah. Hellion says, if you have none to speak for you at the meeting of the Swordwings, you must understand this is not a casual gathering. There will be a limited amount of time to discuss a very important set of matters.
Carrie's gonna nod and say, "Yeah, I know. We have information regarding that. Is." And then, like, a thought seems to hit her, and she's, is Alarka here yet? I know she was supposed to come this way, but been trying to follow her. Been following her for a while now. I'm trying to find her, but, I just want to make sure she got here first.
Alarka. I know this name. How do you know it? At this point... Yeah.
Oh, quick, just for me, Alarka is also a cleric of Shurk, right? Do I remember that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, continue, sorry.
I know this name. How do you know it?
She's a cleric of Shurk, like I am. We've been, yeah, and I know he keeps giving me dreams about her, and I need to find her. She's getting very nervous and starting to babble a little bit.
Uh-huh. But it's not helping with
Nah.
Hellion.
Is this conversation happening up in the air, or?
Oh, yeah.
Is, but at this point,
Okay.
she says, perhaps I should meet your other companions, the Groundwalkers.
And Kira's gonna nod gratefully.
So they're gonna fly loops down, corkscrewing down toward the ground. You guys have reached the base of the tower, more or less. And this group of 4 Aarakocras come flying down in the middle of you guys setting up. Well, if you want to set up camp, they'll fly down in the middle of you guys setting up camp. As I'm going to assume that you want to set up camp here in this protective shrine that Bella has discovered and is reading the messages on it. Yes?
Sure.
Do like a protective shrine.
Yep.
Right?
So, you guys look. You can see that Hellion is a hawk type Aarakocra. Cruel and Suk are both. Circrual and Suk are both owl type Aarakocra, and Clark is a seagull type, and is younger than the others, in his early 20s perhaps.
No, another seagull.
Right. He does not have the look of Sezig at all, except in that. So this group of Aarakocra comes and flies down and lands amongst you. And you sense a certain amount of, not tension, but just questioning in their body language. And Hellion looks around. She says, "A motley group of adventurers, I take it." I am Sir Hellion the Paladin. This is Sir Cruel and Sir Suk the Bold. Your friend here, Akiri, was just telling us that you have information of interest to the Order of Swordwings.
Yes, I suppose we do.
Well, you may tell it to us. I am a senior knight of the Order, and I can pass it on through the proper channels. Unless you have some invitation or reason to attend, those outside the auspices of our knightly order are not expected to speak or be present upon the tower at the time of our meeting.
Respectfully, we are traveling there specifically to give this information to the leadership of the Swordwings in order to enable them to decide how best to disseminate it.
I see. Well, as I said, you may give it to me and I will pass it along.
That's very kind of you, but we're already on the way there. We have reason to believe that Alarka is expecting us there.
You also know this name.
Yes.
Who is Alarka to you? She looks from you to Akiri.
Is she looking at Akiri expecting her to answer, or?
She's asked you a question.
Oh, so she is talking to Akiri.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna say, I mean, well...
You said you've seen her in dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we happened upon... I saw her get attacked by... God, oh goodness, that was so long ago. I saw her get attacked by I think it wasn't bandits, it was more organized than that. I saw her, and then afterwards we happened upon her cart that she fled from after the attack.
Do you know where she is right now?
Last I saw, she was headed towards the tower.
This tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you saw this in dreams from your god.
The one we share, yeah.
I see. We will patrol and find Alarka. She is a great priestess and must be protected. Sir Suk, Sir Krual, Clark, come. And they spread
Vapos
their
would
wings.
like to do an insight check when he's talking about protecting Alarka,
Okay.
just because something about the way these guys are questioning us is kind of giving him a little bit of a weird vibe.
Okay.
So just wants to see how he feels about the
Go for it.
situation. That's a 27.
Wow. You sense not deception, but concerned and suspicion. You would guess that Hellion knows knows that Alarka is in grave danger, and you would sense frustration from her, possibly at not knowing where to find the people that that Hellion feels she's supposed to protect.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she also evinces a certain dislike of the fact that Akira even knows there is a meeting. Or that you guys are sort of here at all. But you also sense a certain amusement. And not necessarily in a kind way, as they take off. And with an incredible insight check, you see her eyeing you guys as they take off. Hopefully